With that said, I want to bring in ABC News contributor and retired FBI agent Brad Garrett for more. So, Brad, you were listening to Aaron's report. We also know that investigators say that they've received in the ballpark of 20,000 tips, right? Do you expect the tips to be flooding in now, to be more focused with these new details about the suspect? Of course, the backpack, the video, the photos there.
Certainly, Morgan, all of that helps to focus. As far as the 20,000 plus tips, you'll still get a large number of people who really don't have information to offer. And that's okay, because you eventually, or hopefully, will get that one lead that will help you ID this guy. Rewards do help. Like I said, they create a lot of not useful information, but that's sort of the reality of taking this approach to get to the end of this story.
You have a good point, because it does. All it takes is one tip to really break open a case like this. Right, we also know that investigators are now requesting video footage from people within a 2-mile radius of Nancy's home. What does that tell you about where they're looking and where they're focused now?
Typically in ransom kidnap cases, or just kidnap cases, people do surveillance. They need to know where they're going, what does a front door or whatever entrance they choose to go through, where is it, what are we going to have to put up with, is there iron gates, are there anything like that, just so they have an assessment and also an escape route. Now, we don't know how the guy at the doorbell got to the front door. I don't think there's a car parked outside Nancy's house. So did he come through the wooded area, not wooded area, the desert area behind and around her house, like all the houses up there? Because there would be a way to walk into her back without being, I think, seen via the driveway. So we'll see. But the whole point of reaching out to folks with their cameras is, did they pick up something that may tie into this case of somebody in effect doing surveillance?
That's certainly the hope. So Brad, soon after Nancy Guthrie's apparent abduction, the family and several news outlets, of course, we've been covering this, have received, a series of ransom notes. But the FBI says it hasn't necessarily been able to verify the legitimacy of any of them. What do you make of that? What are the challenges for trying to identify who is behind a ransom note? And lastly, and I know this is loaded, what are you watching for next in this case?
Okay, so let's start with the ransom notes. They always struck me as odd to begin with, because it was all a one-way street. How in the world was the family supposed to ever communicate with these kidnappers? Because the whole key is you talk about money and you talk about getting your loved one back. And there's none of that discussion or the ability to have it. So let's start with that. And could that just have been an elaborate scam? The answer is it may well end up being that. So is the FBI still working that? They probably are, because they need to identify who sent those emails. But if you look at the case now, it seems that there is a different focus. That's not to say, I suppose, Morgan, that the guy we see at the front door, is he tied to these emails? I'd be surprised if they're connected anyway, but we'll see. But if you can come up with one decent car or something else on camera, you may be able to ID this guy.
Of course, and that's why they are asking for all videos within a 2-mile radius. Of course, we'll see what turns up there. Brad Garrett, thank you so much for weighing in on this.